Sony has added its name to the list of movie creators that are pushing all of their films back until later next year. What does that mean for this year as far as new film releases go? Let's talk about that right now. Hello everybody and welcome back to another movie news video. My name is Joker and today we're discussing how more and more films are being pushed back into later years because of the COVID-19 coronavirus. Now obviously this is nothing new. This news has been going on for what feels like several months now, as the month of March has felt like an eternity. But as we're about to enter into April, it appears that more and more movies are being pushed back into 2021. And with yesterday's announcement from Sony that they are pushing practically their entire catalog of 2020 into 2021, it has me worrying about if there are going to be any new movies at all this year that start coming out. Now, I am one of those people that think this is probably a very smart move for a few reasons. The first reason is the safety of literally everyone in the world right now. You know, countries all over the world, including the United States now, are banning groupings of over X amount of people, because the more people that are around and the more people that are interacting, the higher a chance of people getting sick from the coronavirus is. So I think it's smart right now to not have anyone in theaters and to push some of these movies back so they don't lose money. So that's number one, the well-being and safety of literally everyone on the planet. Money comes second. Lives, money. People don't seem to understand that part, but I'm done with that rant. Second is money, because the entertainment industry alone is set to lose $15 billion this year. Now, sure, to the industry itself, that may not be as much as it seems, but to us, you know, you hear $15 billion and you're like, wow, that's a lot of money. So even then, that's kind of a big deal, especially with these bigger blockbuster movies coming out. Like right now, my big question is what's going to go on with Marvel's Black Widow? The movie is set to release May 1st, and as of yet, that hasn't changed. And moving on to Sony, which was going to have several big blockbuster films coming out this year, such as Morbius following the Sony Marvel side of things with Spider-Man, and the release of Ghostbusters Afterlife, the long-awaited Ghostbusters 3. On top of everything else they have, which includes Greyhound, Fatherhood, Peter Rabbit 2, the aforementioned Morbius and Ghostbusters, the Uncharted film, and another untitled Sony Marvel product, which is to be determined. It has now been moved to October of 2021. Sad thing about this list is that I'm pretty sure that Uncharted movie is turning into the New Mutants. That movie has been pushed back more times than I can count, and it has indefinitely been pushed back because of the coronavirus. And now that the Uncharted movie was supposedly supposed to come out in March of 2021, it has now been pushed back to October of 2021, and it has me wondering if that movie is also going to be even made at this point. I'm assuming it has been made, but there's been so many talks with director changes for that movie. It's in some deep water right now, and it's going to take a miracle for it to get off the ground and into the theater. But the things I'm the most upset about is Ghostbusters and Morbius. Morbius, for one, just because it was a very interesting idea at first. I really wasn't sure how I was going to feel about Jared Leto playing Morbius after his horrendous portrayal as the Joker, but after seeing the trailer and seeing how they're tying it in to some of the Spider-Man movies, especially with Michael Keaton's portrayal as the Vulture showing up in the end of the trailer, got me thinking I'm really excited for this movie. And Ghostbusters Afterlife, of all things, Ghostbusters is one of the movies I grew up with as a kid, so having the official third entry of this movie coming out this July was going to be astounding. I was going to be so excited to see this movie. Was definitely going to be first in line to buy tickets. But now it's really kind of scary to see that both Morbius and Ghostbusters, both set to release in July of this year, have been pushed all the way back to March of 2021. Now, of course, I get it. They don't know how long this pandemic's going to go around. They don't know how long the coronavirus will stick around and continue to disrupt day-to-day activities. So they want to push it back to a point where they think it's safe and they'll continue to get their money back when theaters are reopened and people are allowed to fill them. And of course, I don't know if it's going to affect the concept of potential sequels to these films, if they even exist. Morbius, obviously, there's going to be continuations on that as it's tying into the whole Sony Marvel Spider-Man realm. But as far as if they're going to have sequels for this Ghostbusters Afterlife film, possible. Not necessarily what we're talking about, but if pushing it back is going to cause issues for that in the future. Is it going to cause later sequels and later titles that are involved with all these movies that are getting pushed back? Is that just going to reset everyone's timeline, especially with Marvel's Phase 4? I think Black Widow was the only movie that was supposed to come out this year, and actually the Eternals, now that I think about it, but that movie never got a release date to begin with. So is that also going to be pushed back? And with that, how far back is Phase 4 going to have to be pushed in order for this thing to work out as everyone hopes for? And that comes to the point of how many movies are we actually going to get in 2020 as of right now. As far as I know, Black Widow is still happening. I don't think it's going to, apparently. It still says it's set for May 1st. I think their best bet would be to go to video on demand to at least try to get some kind of money back from it, since we can't fill theaters anywhere right now. And on top of that, interestingly enough, the only film from the list of Sony films that have been pushed back Fatherhood was originally scheduled for January 15th of 2021. That has been replaced with Peter Rabbit 2, taking the January 15th spot, and Fatherhood has been pushed up to October of 2020. I don't know if that's a typo or if that's just a shift anywhere, but for some reason that movie's been pushed up. I guess at least we'll have that one movie coming out in October that we can go see. Plus, I'm pretty sure we were also supposed to get the next Halloween movie this year in October. No news on if that's getting pushed back. With all of these public events being pushed and delayed, I don't know if we're going to get any other actual movies coming out this year. Wonder Woman 1984 is another great example. That was also scheduled to come out in July and has been pushed to August. There's a potential that that movie could also be pushed out of August and into 2021 as well. And I have no decision right making in that area. I have no idea how you would go about pushing a movie back because of a pandemic, but I imagine it's a really hard thing to do and you're going to lose a lot of money because you're just waiting to get the investment back from all the ticket sales. However, it does leave me thinking if we are going to be going into a time where we don't have any new movies coming out for the next few months besides on video on demand for Vudu or anything going early to Disney Plus or other streaming services, what can we watch in the meantime to keep ourselves entertained? So this is my question to you to lead off with this video. What are you guys going to watch in the meantime? Since we're all cooped up in our houses in our self-quarantine zones, what are you doing to pass the time? Are you going back and visiting some old movies, or are you going to be catching up on some newer things that you haven't seen, potentially some new Netflix originals, or something on Disney Plus? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to talk about it. I think for myself, I might revisit the Lord of the Rings Extended Edition since I have all of the time in the world now, or I might go back since Netflix put back Back to the Future, and I definitely need to revisit that. Let me know what you're watching in the comments down below. I really like to talk about it. But until I get any more updates on anything being pushed back or being sent to video on demand, that is going to be it for this video, guys. Remember, if you like what you saw, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see more movie news videos or if you'd like to see anything else. But until then, and as always, I will see you guys next time.